Hey y'all, this is Big Anklevich, author, podcaster, and toy enthusiast extraordinaire. Toy Fair just happened a short while ago, and I wanted to talk to you about what we saw announced and what's got me excited.
Smiling girls and rosy boys, come and buy my little toys.
It comes once a year, New York Toy Fair. Toy companies show up and display all the new toys they want us to buy this year. Okay, there's also San Diego Comic-Con where they do that too. Oh, and New York Comic-Con gets its share of announcements. Oh yeah, they revealed some stuff at PowerCon a little while back. Well, then there's the stuff at ToyCon New Jersey, and I can't forget WonderCon, or Salt Lake Comic-Con, or DragonCon, or BlizzCon, also Albuquerque Comic-Con, Balticon? MegaCon, Michigan Association of Insurance Agents Annual Convention, and the Fargo Moorhead Comic-Con. I guess it's more than a once-a-year thing, but it was a big deal. Seriously, it was. I'm not kidding.
Behold the Underminer! I am always beneath you, but nothing is beneath me!
So what I'm saying is, they announced some stuff, and I'm going to talk a bit about it. My first love is Star Wars. I've loved Luke, Leia, and Han since the time that I also loved Big Bird, Grover, and Guy Smiley. Hasbro announced a few things in respects to Star Wars, but not too much. They probably got to avoid Episode 9 spoilers or Disney's gonna wring their collective necks. There's a new line that they call Hyper Real, and Darth Vader will be the first figure available. I think this is their attempt to compete with the high-end import figures. They're gonna cost $80 though. Maybe they'll be worth that much, but that's beyond my price range. If I'm spending $80, I expect to have 3 or 4 figures in hand at least, or a figure so big it takes both hands to be able to hold it. Sorry, I'm cheap. I've gotten the vast majority of my collection on sale. They've already announced all the Black series that's coming soon. Some figures from comics that I don't read and I'm not interested in. Wet Hair Luke in Stormtrooper armor. Maybe a little trash compactor action. Cartoon figures and figures from the new movies that I'm not interested in. Some prequel figures that I'm also not interested in because... prequels. They are putting Darth Maul and Obi-Wan out as Star Wars Celebration exclusives in a new throwback packaging that harkens back to those crazy days when all of us sheep, and yes, I'm including myself in that characterization, ran out and bought the crap out of those Phantom Menace toys because, hey, it was Star Wars. New Star Wars. We all had a Jar Jar and a Boss Nass and a Watto and a Chancellor Valorum. Tons of people had 2, 3, 6! We didn't know what the prequels would be like and just what kind of demand there would be for those figures in a few years. Lucky for me, I couldn't afford to buy extras, so I didn't waste any money on extras. And there were plenty of extras to go around. They sold so many toys. I did learn an important lesson about buying before seeing a movie, though. A lesson that I've never forgotten and always followed since. The comforting thing about these figures is that they aren't 80s throwbacks. Everything was 80s throwbacks at this Toy Fair. It almost feels like it was Toy Fair 1989 instead of 2019. Pop culture seems to be like a scratched CD that keeps skipping back and playing the same section of the song over and over again. Okay, let's see. I don't do a lot of 3/4-inch stuff, but I've got my share. I am tempted to get that sand skiff. I need a Weequay or 2, along with a lot of other figures to go with it, though, so that's probably enough to keep me away. If I see it on a great sale, though, all bets are off. Hasbro also announced their new retro collection, which look to be exact replicas of classic Kenner Star Wars figures from the 70s. I think I'm going to talk about them in my next video, so we'll leave that for later. My son, the one I got the Moon Knight figure for Christmas, is really into Overwatch. And I thought he'd be really interested in the new Hasbro Overwatch figures, but he wasn't interested in their character selection. Only Reinhardt slightly tempted him. He says he wants Zenyatta or Doomfist. I guess we'll have to wait for the next wave, maybe. I really did my study up for Halloween this past year, and I'd love to take it further this next year. I've picked up a couple of figures that will improve my display already, like Taskmaster and Reaper. There's several more that I'd like to get. I've been considering getting some of those really great Neca figures of Jason, Freddy, and Pennywise, but Neca showed us these guys at Toy Fair. They're Toonie Terrors, and I like them. They're cute though. Are they scary enough? Does it matter? I mean, I don't want to go too dark, like this Pennywise. I've got a 7-year-old kid that I'd prefer not to have nightmares because of my toys. Ooh, maybe I could counteract Pennywise with the Bob Ross they announced. I bet Bob Ross could walk into that sewer in Derry and softly and calmly talk Pennywise into giving up and going back to his happy alien spider world and leaving us Earthlings in peace. I've also considered getting the McFarlane Fortnite Skull Trooper, but maybe I should get this guy instead. This is the Neca Skeleton Johnny from Karate Kid. I like it a lot. More than Fortnite by a ways, especially because I, like everybody else my age, loved the Karate Kid when it came out in the 80s. But I'm not a gamer, so I've got no attachment to Fortnite beyond the pure aesthetics. The big thing for me, and I think for a lot of others too, was the Marvel Legends announcements at the show. They went all out with their announcements and got me really excited. I've been a big fan of Marvel Legends for a really long time. You can see my video about the first figure I ever bought. So it's probably no surprise. But Marvel Legends had a big leg up because there's been a void in their marketplace for a while now. They created it themselves, or maybe Marvel or Disney mandated it, but we've really missed the X-Men in Marvel Legends. They started in with some great releases so far, and this year they're still going. I'm most excited about the Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack. I'm pretty picky, I've got limited space, I hate to stuff my figures in boxes and leave them there. So it's not often that I want a whole wave of figures, or even a whole 2-pack. I've got almost no Build-A-Figures because I'd be stuck with a bunch of unwanted figures that I'd have to unload somehow. And I'm not a fan of selling on eBay, it's just too much BS to deal with there. That said, I didn't assemble the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure when the wave came out. But I've been sad about it ever since. I love Juggernaut. He's just really cool. I also once had a really nice Toy Biz Colossus, but I sold it off when I was in need of money, so it's long gone. Now they're killing 2 birds for me with 1 stone and letting me steer clear of eBay too. I still have the Hulk that came in the MCU 10th Anniversary 2-pack with the Hulkbuster that's been sitting in my closet, waiting for me to brave eBay selling again. It's been months now, and I just don't wanna. More X-Men that I gotta have? That Nightcrawler. I've been considering trying to get my hands on the old Toy Biz figure because Hasbro took so long to finally put out a new Nightcrawler. Now, I can rejoice and put him on the shelf with my favorite X-Men. And my Parsec Awards that my amazing sci-fi, fantasy, and horror podcast won. You should check it out, links in the description. One more X-Men thing on my wish list that's finally come true is the box set with Magneto in it. I gotta get that. I've been wanting a classic colors Magneto for so long. Not sure if I want the Scarlet Witch or Quicksilver though. I'll have to think about that one some. What else? There's tons more X-Men to love. Mr. Sinister looks sweet. Cannonball's explosion effect looks so cool. But is he really not coming with legs? Other stuff, Hydro Man looks awesome. So does Scorpion, although that tail might be a little long. Does that seem long to you? Beta Ray Bill tempts me. He's a great character. I'm really tempted by the Captain America on the World War II motorcycle, too. And the classic costume Captain America and Thor that are supposedly Alex Ross-inspired designs. Those are really nice, and I've always wished I could get a classic costume Thor in my grubby little hands. I suppose this video is a sort of a preview of what you can expect to see reviewed here on my channel over the next year. I'm pretty dang excited. The Captain Marvel wave, Kingpin wave, and second Black Panther wave of figures left me a little cold as we started 2019, and I wasn't very excited about Marvel Legends in the coming year. But Toy Fair has totally changed my mind. I can't wait for this stuff to start arriving. Thanks for watching. Do the like and subscribe and notification bell thing if you would. Also, check out my podcast, my multiple parsec award-winning podcast. It's called the Dunesteef Audio Fiction Magazine, and we do awesome audio fiction that you can listen to while you're stuck performing the drudgery that makes up the majority of the human condition. Check it out. The link is in the description. Lastly, leave a comment down below, huh? What are you excited about this year? What announcement from Toy Fair got your juices flowing? Let's talk some toys. See you next time.